What is going on, you guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today, I'm back with my new series, which is Judging Robberies, where I go back and watch older fights where a lot of people believe that there was a robbery or whatever, very controversial fights, and I pretty much go and judge, from my point of view, judge these fights round by round, tell you guys who I believe won each round. Very controversial fights, obviously. Like pretty much every single fight that I do in the series are controversial decisions, and I let you guys know whether or not I believe it is a robbery or not. But today, we're here to talk about Alexander Gustafsson versus Jon Jones 1 at UFC 165, which is, to me, one of the greatest fights, probably for me, top 5 fight of all time. Rewatching this, I've seen this fight so many times. Rewatching this fight, it's just so crazy how great this fight is. It really is. Like, one of the all-time great, probably the greatest light heavyweight fight. I don't think anything has come close. Like, obviously, to me, the closest thing probably was Yuri Prochazka and Glover Teixeira. But that fight, even, I don't think it in my opinion, it's on that level of Gustafsson Jones 1. But let's go ahead and get right into it. By the way, in my notes, I pretty much, talk about a lot of stuff that happened in the fight. I'm not going to talk about and pinpoint every single strike that was thrown, every strike that was landed, because there was, Jon Jones landed 134 of 217 strikes, and Gustafsson landed 110 of 288. I'm not going to go and say, oh, Jones in the beginning landed a leg kick, and then Gustafsson landed back a leg. I'm telling you guys the most significant stuff to me that matters the most, which are the significant strikes or the big moments in each round. Kind of give you guys like a little bit of a breakdown of each round, okay? And then I give you guys who I believe won that round, okay? But let's go ahead and get right into it. So round one started off with body kicks by Jones early on, then a Superman punch by Jones, then a left hook by Gustafsson, then a right hand by Gustafsson, a two-punch combination by Gus bloodies Jones, which was I believe a 1-2, pretty much a 1-2 combination. And the way Gustafsson hit Jones, it cut him up pretty badly with the glove, and Jones was leaking from the very get-go right there. Then a spinning back kick to the body by Jones. He threw a lot of those in this fight, especially early on. And Gus throws combinations but misses Jones. Gus lands huge takedown on Jones with the minute left in the round. And that was the first time that Jones ever got taken down in his career. Then Jones gets up 15 seconds later. So even though Gus got the takedown, Jones got up pretty quickly. Pretty much 15 seconds, and then he just got up right away. Then an eye poke by Jones pretty much at the end of the round, about 20 seconds left, I believe. And then a spinning elbow by Jones right after that, and then a big elbow by Jones to end the round. To me, Jones won round one. Don't get me wrong, Gustafsson definitely had a big-time strike that bloodied up Jones, but it wasn't to the point where it rocked Jones. It just really bloodied up Jones. It was just a circumstance that happened in the round, and I think a lot of people in the crowd were obviously really behind Gustafsson, because Gustafsson did surprisingly well in the first round, because at that time, Gus was not really well known by the major audience of the UFC. I mean, if you were a UFC diehard, you probably knew who Gustafsson was at this point, but this was my introduction to Alexander Gustafsson, okay? That's when I knew about Gus, and he was obviously put up an amazing performance, and I think he caught everybody by surprise because Jones was just so great at this point in time. Nobody was beating Jones. It wasn't even close. And the fact that he made this a pretty close round and did very well against Jones, I think that's why a lot of people probably believe that he won. Maybe round one, but I don't listen. In this round, Jones landed 28 strikes, I believe is significant strikes, versus Gustafsson's 19. Okay? So obviously there's a huge discrepancy in the strikes. And plus, to me, Jones had a lot of great moments in this round. The spinning, I believe he threw the first spinning elbow of the fight and landed clean. And then obviously there was a big elbow by Jones at the end of the round to close the round. I think Jones had the bigger moments in this round, in my opinion. Even though, probably the biggest moment of this round was Jones getting cut up by Gus. But still, even then, I think Jones took this round. He wins round one. So let's go ahead and get into round two. So Gus catches body kick and trips Jones. So I believe Jones threw a regular body kick, and Gus caught the kick and tripped Jones. And then Gus runs away from Jones, trying to take him down. So this was pretty much like all in like one sequence. So I believe Jones was able to counter. Then he tried to go for a takedown on Gus, but then Gus like just runs away. And like runs away from Jones, like because Jones was literally just trying to like tackle him and trying to take him to the ground, but Gus runs away. I thought that was pretty funny. Great takedown defense from Gus. By the way, throughout the entire fight, he only got taken down once, but Jones tried so many times to take Alexander Gustafsson down, and it just wasn't working. He wasn't able to take Gus down, and that was just great takedown defense. I understand a lot of people say also that Jones didn't take this fight seriously, that he wasn't really training for this fight. Yeah, but still, even then, that is still great takedown defense because Gus is like predominantly a striker, and the fact that he had this good of takedown defense and was able to pretty much keep this standing is absolutely just amazing. Great stuff by Gustafsson. I gotta give him a lot of credit. Elbow landed by Jones, and a left hook by Gus. A head kick lands flush for Jones, so Jones threw a head kick and it landed pretty cleanly on Alexander Gustafsson. Gus catches a body kick again and shows great takedown defense once again. Then a 1-2 by Gus, and then body kick soon after. A question mark kick by Jones. It seemed like a question mark kick. I'm not entirely sure that was a question mark kick, but it lands on Gustafsson as well. And then an uppercut by Gustafsson. Here on the, this is by the way, UFCstats.com. They had the 26-15, and Jones landed the 26. So, and obviously to me this felt closer than the first round for some reason, because Gustafsson, obviously with the trips was really good for him. I still believe Jones took this round because he did land a lot more shots. Obviously, I just didn't record everything. He was still going. He usually does that like really weird kick. I forgot what it's called. Where I think it's the not Eminari kick. Wait, no, what the fuck? Nah. Don't even listen to me right there. But he was throwing obviously a bunch of leg kicks, and some body kicks here and there as well by Jones. And he definitely did very well in this round. I think it felt closer watching it, and Gus has some great moments as well. But I gotta say this. Gustafsson threw a bunch of strikes in this fight. And in this round, he threw 51. And a lot of the strikes that Gustafsson threw, he missed on Jones. And it was kind of crazy. The commentary was a little interesting for this fight, because they were really just on Gustafsson's side here, it feels like, throughout the entire fight. Like, Joe Rogan believed that Gustafsson was pretty much winning the fight, that Jones needed to finish. And I'll talk about that later on, because he said that later on in the fight. But Mike Goldberg sometimes he will say something that happened, and he says, "Oh, an overhand by Gustafsson," and Gustafsson completely like misses the like an overhand or whatever strike he threw, and then Goldberg will be like, "Oh, Gustafsson lands a big strike on John Jones," and it's like, bro, are you watching the fight? And there was another instance, and I get to it. I believe it's in the next round where Rogan completely, even with the replay, completely misses this obvious like call, and I get to that in a second. But I thought that the commentary was very weird for this fight, and Rogan was really just adamant on Gustafsson. He believed that probably Gustafsson was winning this fight, and he probably thought the night of that he won the fight. But going back, I think Jones won this round, and I think he's up 2-0. So let's get into round 3. Starts with an uppercut by Gus. Then a spinning head kick lands by Jones, where he pretty much did a spinning head kick. It looked like he probably was trying to go to the body, but he actually hits him in the face. And it was a clean shot by Jones. It didn't land like super hard though, pause. But still, it was still a great shot by Jones. A strong jab by Gus to the head and the body. So he pretty much went down low, and then he went to the top with a jab. And that was a great combination. A head kick by Jones that landed. A great 3-bar combo by Gus that grazes Jones. Some of the shots landed clean, but some of the shots kind of grazed Jones a little bit. Then a 1-2 combo by Gus. Body kicks by John Jones continued to pile up. And then a spinning elbow by Jones lands. And that was pretty much all I took from round 3. But I think the numbers for round 3 was 29-26 in favor of John Jones again. But in my opinion, this was a Gus round. Gus did very well in this round. I think he landed a lot of great shots, and I think he did a lot more for me to win this round. And I give him the benefit. I think he won round 3. I give Gus the first round. Even though he landed 3 less significant strikes, I give it to Alexander Gustafsson this time. Because to me, he landed the more significant stuff. I thought his combinations were pretty clean for the most part. And I think he wins this round. I said in my notes, super close round, but I give the edge to Gus. And Joe Rogan says, and this is what I'm talking about, he says that Gus's thumb goes into Jones's eye, but it clearly doesn't. Like, they were watching, it was like a punch that Gus landed, and it looked like his eye almost hit Jones in the eye, but it doesn't. It clearly doesn't. And Joe Rogan was like, oh, we got to go back to that. Let's see if Gus's thumb landed in Jones's eye. And he was like, oh, yeah, it does. And it's like, bro, it's not even close. It wasn't, like, no, it didn't land in Gus's eye whatsoever. It was, like, right here. Like, right here. Like, it was, like, an orbital error, but it wasn't, like, in the eye. Like, it was not he thought that he thumbed him in the eye. I'm like, bro, what are you talking about? No, he didn't. Like, and even with the replay made it so clear that, bro, it wasn't even close to an eye poke by Gustafsson. But anyway, like, Joe Rogan, he seemed a little off tonight. If I'm being honest with you. And don't get me wrong, I'm a Joe Rogan guy. I think his commentary is pretty good. For the most part, sometimes he does kind of tweak, but tonight was a little iffy. Round 4, to me, the best round of the entire fight. One of the greatest rounds in UFC history. Let's go right into it. Right hand lands by Gus, then a right hand lands by Jones. Jab lands by Jones twice, and then Gus lands a jab right after that. Like, later on after that. Solid combination by Gus, then a right uppercut by Gus. Excellent takedown defense once again by Gus. Then Gus lands 2 straight jabs. A right hand then lands by Gus as well. Then a head kick by Jones lands. And then elbows by Jones lands. And then a spinning elbow stuns Gus. And this is where, to me, in my opinion, where Jones stole the round. Because in the beginning, the first like 3.5 minutes of this round, everything was going Gus's way. It was like, yo, Gus is winning this round. But then the spinning elbow by Jones, I believe it was the second one of the fight. Might have been the third, not entirely sure. Lands clean on Gus, and it rocks Gus big time. It stuns him, and then right after that, he lands 2 straight elbows in a row while Gus is on the cage. And then he shoots, for some reason, in my opinion, he shouldn't have shot for a takedown. Right after this, he shot for a takedown, I guess, because he thought he was stunned. He would be able to take him down while Gus was hurt. But Gus still stuffed the takedown. Great takedown defense by Gus. Even though he was stunned, he was able to stuff the takedown by Jones. I thought that Jones could have probably maybe got the finish if he didn't shoot for that takedown. That was a really dumb takedown by Jones. And then probably 2 more significant elbows by Jones. And to me, at the end, he steals round 4. So it's 3 rounds to 1 for Jones. And listen, I'm not mad at you if you believe that Gus won this round. Because Gus was winning majority of the round. And in the numbers here, it still says that Jones landed 1 more strike, 27-26. But it felt like, to me, majority of the time, it was all Gustafsson in the beginning of the round. So if you do give it to Gustafsson, I won't be mad at you. By the way, Jones' precision, 29-42, 69% of the strikes landed. In the first round, he was 71%. Unbelievable stuff by, obviously, Gustafsson was less accurate because Jones' defense was pretty good in this fight. Even though he did get hit with a lot of strikes, his defense was pretty damn good in this fight, for sure. But yeah, if you give it to Gus and it's 2-2 going into round 5, I'm fine with that. But in my opinion, I think Jones, he landed the most significant strike in the round that stunned him and had pretty much that last minute and a half was all Jones, in my honest opinion. And I think he won the round because of him stunning Alexander Gustafsson, so I give it to Jones. So round 5, which could be a deciding round for a lot of people. You know what I mean? Let's get into it. Gus lands a right, then follows it with a jab, and then body kicks by Jones. A body kick by Jones, sorry. 2 straight uppercuts by Gus. A Superman punch by Jones lands. He threw a Superman punch and it landed pretty solidly for John Jones. A step-in elbow by Jones which was really clean by Jones. His striking in this fight was very fucking good, if I'm being honest with you. Jones, even though it may not seem like he probably took this fight seriously, he still landed some really good combinations in this fight. Jones finally secured the first takedown of the fight for him, but Gus gets on his feet very quickly. So that takedown to me felt meaningless for Jon Jones, in my honest opinion. He finally got the takedown, but it didn't mean much because Gus pretty much got up right on the cage, and he pretty much, like, they continued the fight on the feet right after that. So, yeah. But Gus gets up on the feet quickly. Flush head kick lands by Jones. Gus takes a deep breath with about 2 minutes left. Gus was out. Like, he was gassed at this point. I mean, he was so tired. There was a part where he looked at the floor, like, just in, like, dude, I need this fight to end immediately. And I was like, yo, this guy is gassed. Jones obviously seemed like the fresher man still. He obviously looked bloodied up and battered, but Jones seemed like the fresher man. He had better cardio, better stamina than Gus at this very point in time. Another flush head kick by Jones lands, and then another head kick lands by Jones, and then a body kick by Jones, a two-punch combination by Gus, a short elbow by Jones, and then a flying knee by Jones land. That flying knee at the end landed by Jones as well. So Jones wins the round. I think that right here it does say that they both landed the even amount, but to me, the most significant stuff was by Jones. So in my opinion, Jon Jones won 49-46. You can say 48-47 if you want to, but still, my verdict for this fight is that it's not a robbery. It is not a robbery. Let me also say this. Goldberg says Gus landed nearly 200 strikes. And then I said, what drugs is he on? He did not land 200 strikes. Okay? He threw 200 strikes. Maybe that's what he meant to say, that he threw over 200 strikes. But there's no shot that he landed over 200 strikes. I mean, it's obvious here that he landed 110 of 288. So, yeah. In my opinion, Gus lost this fight. It was not a robbery. A lot of people in the crowd booed, like, after this decision was made. I believe 2 judges gave it 48-47 to Jones, and then one of them gave it 49-46 to Jones. I would have been in the 49-46 category. I think Jones clearly won this fight. I don't think it's a robbery. I think it was just a great performance by Gus. Gus shocked the world and put up such a hell of a fight. Yeah, I think Jones won this fight 49-46. So that's my verdict. Not a robbery. So let me know what you guys think. I feel like I'm going to be doing another Jones fight. I think you guys already know what it is very soon. But let me know what other fights you want me to do as well, because there's a lot of fights that, you know, back in the day, obviously we have George St. Pierre versus Johnny Hendricks that we can talk about. Is it Johnny Hendricks? Yeah, I believe it is. Yeah, it is Johnny Hendricks. I can talk about that one. I think I want to do the other Jones fight that is considered a robbery as well, which I believe probably is. Last time I seen it, I thought it was a robbery. We'll get into that maybe, but let me know other fights as well. Give me some suggestions, and yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you soon with another video. Peace out.